So hi friends, today we are going to learn a small trick in chess. So when you are playing chess for a very long time, you will come to know that chess is a game where we have to maintain a solid structure where one of our pieces supports another piece and attack in a safer way. We should attack the opponent in a safer way. So we are going to see a classical king's pawn opening and learn a small new trick. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, knight d3, pawn d3, knight f6, knight c3, d6 is played. So at this position both white and black are equal. So what is going to happen in the next few moves is going to decide the winning side. Both sides have castled. So bishop to g5. We are attacking the knight on f6 and pinning it with the queen. So knight is in a danger position and the king's pawn structure might get broken if we exchange the knight for our bishop. So how are we going to do that? Black is countering with bishop to e6, attacking our white bishop. It is trying to exchange with our white bishop so that our bishop structure gets open, our pawn structure gets open. We are going to counter it with knight to d5. So this is the main part of our trick. We are attacking the knight on f6 with two of our pieces. So if we capture the knight with any of our piece, it cannot recapture the piece with the queen. It has to be captured with the pawn on g7, which will open the king's pawn structure. So the best move for the black at this position would be taking our knight on d5 with bishop on e6. But let's see what the black did. The black played the knight to d4, so which is a blunder. So now as we have planned, we are going to capture the knight on f6 and open the king's pawn structure. I am playing knight f6 uncheck. It cannot be captured with the queen. It has to be captured with the pawn on g7, which opens the king's pawn structure. So now we are going to move the bishop to h6 and attack the rook. The rook has to move aside. So now we have achieved 50% of our goal. We have broken the structure of the black so that we can take our pieces to the king side of the black and make a forced eventual checkmate. The only thing that we have to be careful at this point is we should not exchange the bishops, because if we exchange the bishop, it will be captured back either with the knight which guards the g7 square, or it will be captured with the pawn which will allow a room for the rooks to come to the 7th row and guard the g7 square. It should not be allowed. This is the only thing that we have to be careful afterwards. So now we are going to capture the knight on d4 with our knight, which creates a room for our queen to move to the king side and make a even more stronger attack. Now what the black can do? It cannot capture the knight, because if it captures the knight, now we can exchange the bishops and create a forced eventual checkmate. So instead, the black is playing queen to e7, because this is the only good move that the black can do, which when the bishop is taken will allow a room for queen to come to g7. So now we are going to play knight to f5 and attack the queen. So now the black is playing bishop takes knight. We are going to do pawn takes bishop. So now the black piece is having two pawn structures which cannot be moved, so that the black king cannot be protected. The only way the black can protect itself is take its king to h8. This is the only good move that the black can do now, and bring the rooks to the g file so that it can protect the black king. Instead, the black has understood that its position is very bad and is trying to do whatever it can do. It took its bishop to the position f2 and kept a check, which is not really useful, but it is trying to do whatever it can do to take the game to a far other end. So king h8. Now we are going to take our queen to h5. The rook comes to the g file to protect the king. We are attacking the pawn on f7. Rook d8. We are taking our rook to the g column and making even more stronger attack. The rook comes back to f7, f8, and attacks our bishop. We are going to exchange the black bishop for the rook and take our white bishop to a more safer place. So now we are going to create a stronger attack on the g file, which is very hard for the black king to protect. So there is a checkmate in the end. So what we have learned in this game is, when a strong structure is getting broken, it will lead to a winning position for the other side.